Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. And Madam Farah, Selina. Today we are from Group 4. We are presenting about sensory evaluation of chicken nugget. My name is Nubatisha and I will explain about introduction. For our sensory evaluation is a scientific discipline which uses the human sense of sight, smell, touch, and hearing to measure the quality and acceptability of a product. For our objective is to compare 4 chicken nuggets, which is First Pride, Marina, NutriPlus, and Ramly to determine whether significant or differences exist among them. Okay, next we move to methods. First, for the material, we use 4 chicken nugget brands, which is First Pride, Marina, NutriPlus, and Ramly. And then we use air fryer, coded containers, Google Form evaluated, and drinking water. For panelists, we have a panelist setup, which is we use a number of panelists. We use number of panelists with a hedonic scale 1 to 5. And then for attributes of nugget, we have color, chicken smell, saltiness, juiciness, and overall acceptability. Next, we move to methodology. First, for preliminary test, we prepare nuggets from 4 different brands, which is First Pride, Marina, NutriPlus, and Ramly. Next, each nugget was thawed for 15 minutes, then cooked in the air fryer at 118 degrees Celsius within 6 minutes on each side, making a total of 12 minutes. After that, we assign codes to each sample using a random digit table. This step was important to make sure the labeling was unbiased. Finally, the trays and sample containers were labeled with those randomized codes so the evaluation could be carried out fairly. Okay, this is our master sheet that we use for sample code and permutation for chicken nugget. Next, we move to sample preparation. We focus on sample preparation that we use same as a preliminary test, that all nuggets were thawed for 15 minutes before cooking, and then we were cooked in the air fryer at 118 degrees Celsius with 6 minutes per side. And then after cooking, nuggets were cut into the uniform bite-sized portion. And finally, samples were placed into coded containers to keep brand identity hidden. And then for panel setup, after preparation, we moved to panel setup. Panelists were seated in a controlled environment with a minimal distraction. Each panelist received coded portions of nugget, and then water was provided for palate cleansing between tasting. This setup ensures fairness and consistency during evaluation. Okay, next, we move to evaluation. First, panelists judge each sample for color, smell, saltiness, juiciness, and overall acceptability. We use the 5-point hedonic scale to record preference, and then the scores were written down in evaluation through Google Forms. This process gave a structure and reliable feedback. Next, for the last, finally, we move to data collection and analysis. All scores were compiled into a data set. We perform a one-way ANOVA to check differences between brands, and then the Tukey test was applied to identify significant differences. This analysis gave us clear and unbiased results for comparison. That's all from me. Thank you.
Let's dive into our consumer preference data. For color, scores are tightly clustered, with NutriPlus slightly leading at 3.667. For chicken smell, First Pride emerged as the clear favorite with a strong score of 4.067, while Ramly trails at 3.0. Next, for saltiness, First Pride wins again at 3.733, showing that its sodium profile resonated best with our panel. For juiciness, First Sprite dominates at 3.967, while the other three brands sit closely in the low 3.3 range. Reflecting these individual wins, Figure 5 shows overall acceptability. First Sprite is the definitive consumer favorite with a strong score of 4.233. Marina and Ramly at 3.4 and NutriPlus scored at 3.3. Our sensory attribute comparison chart in Figure 6 perfectly visualizes this. First Sprite expands furthest outward on the web, proving it is the most sensory balanced option on the market. To scientifically validate these numbers, we ran a single factor ANOVA at a 5% significance level, one-way ANOVA test. For color, our p-value is 0.415. Since this is greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the hash null. The brands are statistically identical to consumers, which is it is not significant to consumers. For chicken smell, the p-value drops to 0.006. We reject the hash null, proving significant aroma differences. Next, for saltiness, the p-value is 0.001. We reject the hash null again, confirming that formulation variants heavily impact taste preference. Finishing our ANOVA breakdown, for juiciness, the p-value is 0.034. This is below 0.05, so we reject the hash null again. Texture differences are significant. Lastly, for overall acceptability, our p-value is 0.004. We reject the hash null, mathematically solidifying First Sprite's position as the true consumer favorite. Thank you.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Iman Syafiqah binti Osman. So today I would like to present about my part for ANOVA and hypothesis. So first, for the ANOVA result, we reject hash null for chicken smell, saltiness, juiciness and overall acceptability because their p-value were all below 0.05. However, for the color attribute, hash null was accepted as p equal to 0.415. This means that while panelists found the visual appearance of all brands to be similar, the smell, taste and texture was significantly different. So, for the next, graph and consumer preference. We refer to the radar, chart and bar graph. First Sprite was the clear favourite, scoring the highest across almost all men's attribute. Juiciness at 3.9067. Saltiness at 3.733 and chicken smell at 4.067. The Tukey test also placed First Sprite uniquely in grouping A for both saltiness and smell. Consequently, it achieved the highest overall acceptability score of 4.233. So next, for industrial implication. This data prove that aroma, saltiness and juiciness are the key driver for consumer choice, giving First Sprite huge market potential. For lower scoring brands just like NutriPlus, which tie for the lowest juiciness at 3.333, show that manufacturer needs to optimize their product formulations, such as adjusting their meat to binder ratio and sodium levels. So for the last, we notice a slightly statistical contradiction in the juiciness attribute. While ANOVA showed it was significant as P equal to 0.034, the Tukey test placed all four brands under the exact same grouping letter as A. This discrepancy happened due to high variance in the panelist rating. as judging the juiciness of the nugget is highly subjective to individual human perception. So next, for recommendation, for future experiment, we recommend to using trend descriptive panelists and conducting tests in isolate boats with red lighting. It is crucial to eliminate the halo effect, preventing the nuggets from color from accidentally biasing the panelist rating of level. That's all from me. Thank you.
For the conclusion, sensory evaluation is successfully compared to 4 chicken nugget brands. Firstly is First Pride, Marina, Nutri-Plus, and Ramly. Very significant difference were found for chicken smell, saltiness, juiciness, and overall acceptability. There is no significant difference was observed for color. And First Pride received the highest overall acceptability score, which is 4.233, and was the most preferred brand. This result indicates that aroma, taste, and texture have greater influence on consumer preference than appearance. Sensory evaluation is a valuable tool for food product development, quality improvement, and consumer acceptance studies. There is possible sources of error that include individual taste preference, sample preparation, inconsistency, and the use of small untainted panel. That's all.